Who disturbs us? We see.
Nice work.
You ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger?
Please tell me you found them.
Your rangers lost to the Dream Scourge. Nothing we could do.
The Dream Scourge. Here. Tell me you're joking. Willichis talked about Dream Scourge for weeks. I was too busy resenting his easy life to listen to him. They'd been acting sideways, more than just distracted from their work. I thought it was... well, I don't have to tell you twice. I was so wrong. I think I know the answer, but is either of them still alive? Poor Belena, poor Adelaro. I wish it weren't for the best. They would have brought the Dream Scourge to others. In the meantime, I still have to break this to Vidaro, somehow. When people find out we have Dream Thralls, he'll blame the Rangers to save himself. You're right. I don't like it, but you're right. I'd better get ahead of it then. I'd rather not get on Scan's bad side. Here. You went to a lot of trouble. You ought to be paid for it. It's time for me to get out of here and actually do my job.
Looks like we know Dream Scourge. There's nothing anyone can do.
I really do hope you can end this, Envoy.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amigo.
Giata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
Did you hear that, Ignacy? You should be taking notes.
Ah, of course. The Adiran envoy. Ambassador Hilgard sent a missive telling me to expect you. How delightful. You speak with a measure of authority, but I caution you to remember who's in charge around here.
Now that's what I call a first impression. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
They do. And that's the kind of reckless behavior I'm trying to avoid.
Reckless is all we have time for. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. It's nothing. Our governor is backed into a corner and lashing out. I almost respect him for it. Buy me a drink sometime, and I'll tell you all about my family's basement. I thought you'd never ask. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa. You're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast.
It's a bit too soon to tell.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
Another time, Envoy.
Is this the governor's mother? Bless. Stay shame.
My hands. My hands. Chantal.
Ignacio's mother is very ill. Please, don't disturb her anymore.
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Jat is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Mesiverno. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him. He was loyal to my father, but never to me. And he knows how to rally others to his side.
This Nimdude wouldn't see a Balrog coming if it did a little dance right in front of him.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run. You what? It's been so long since I gave up hope. In his final days, he was fond of going out into the wilderness, and increasingly less fond of returning. Mother seemed to understand, but I never did. That was an old grudge to nurse. At least he came to terms with it in the end. Maybe I'll visit him one day, when I find my courage. At least now I can. You could have left me wondering, but you didn't. Thank you, Godlike. From the bottom of my heart. Consider yourself a guest in my town. The Steel Garrote? Here? Well, well. Apparently nature is not the only foe in Emerald Stair. Worse, my rangers turned a blind eye to it. Satisfy my curiosity. Why am I hearing this from the Adiran envoy? Don't you and the Steel Garrote share the same master? For my sake, I'm glad to hear it. Take this with my gratitude. And let us pray this is the last we've seen of the Steel Garrote. No one is denying that the Living Lands is a dangerous frontier. Take Fior Mesiverno. This city has fought a war of attrition since the day my father laid the first stone. You saw for yourself what's happened to the Delamgan in recent years. We have always persisted, and nothing will change that. Nothing. Oh, it's far from perfect, but it's ours. I know the Living Lands must seem wild and untamed to one so accustomed to the comforts of court. Some of us have the distinction to call this place home, sharp edges and all. We can outlast the wilderness. I knew I heard someone snooping about. And you have the gall to confront me like a common criminal. This conversation is over. My family is entitled to its privacy, And not even the lauded Adiran envoy can take that from us. I'll hear no more of this. You go about your business, and I'll go about mine.
We should let this one go.
My mother is very sick. I'll thank you not to disturb her.
Come one, come all. My invention is guaranteed.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Messiverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare a squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Monto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name, and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
And I really loved her.
Ado!
Confounded machine. Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. More than most, but less than I would like. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Yes, her theory of the Dream Scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a stronger power source. Grimoires can hold intense power, but not for long. Besides, grimoires require a wizard to draw in essence. It's too dangerous at this scale. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Well, aren't you full of surprises? For an Adiran, you're very resourceful, and a more than capable companion for poor Giada. Nature is as stubborn as ever, I see. Fair enough. Here's payment for your troubles. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions to induce a metaphysical quiver. No, not to worry, just testing your reflexes. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? In that case, let's stop it before I do any lasting damage. Hey, let's go over your results. Your soul has a fascinating internal structure. Perfectly balanced. An artist couldn't have made it better. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. Not to besmirch a colleague, but watchers aren't the most reliable sources. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. Nothing harmful, at least not yet. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated again. But you came for Giata's theory of the Dream Scourge. Between the two of us, she's on to something. Our farms are in great peril. The essence has been drained from the land, diverted, like the flow of a river. Exactly. And if I know essence, it can't have gone too far. All I can tell you is keep looking. You'll find what you're after. As much as I hate giving people bad news, that's all I have. Please give Giata my fondest regards.
Keep looking, huh? I'm getting a bad feeling about what we'll find.
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed or cursed? The gods are silent on this question.
Neither. They just are. Anything else is speculation. Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Fluent speech and upright posture show marks of sophistication in the endangered godlike. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giata must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giata needs to finish her research. Deal?
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Precisely. A godlike and a scholar, too. Incredible.
Indeed. Just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Not that we'd ever be interested in such research, of course. How droll. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you hear
Hurry,
that Giada was
before they
sent
change their
into
minds.
exile?
Ugh, I might have
Wonder if she needs a new
dozed off
research
there for a bit.
Or
Were any of
maybe a
those words the
test
ones we
subject?
needed?
Both. Anything to work with the great Giata Castel.
Emerald Stair has seen better days. With any luck, the turning of the seasons will favor us. Giada Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor! I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? That's our governor for you. Self-righteous even in his own ignorance. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. You did? That was quick. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. I'll be fine. I've lost so many revenants over the years, and I'm always such a wreck afterward. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. But how to find something so well hidden? Can something so metaphysical even be found? Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Seems a little far-fetched. Then again, what isn't these days? You're a godlike, so anything is possible. Perhaps your nature will grant you more answers. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
I hope you aren't afraid of lightning. Where there's animancy, there's bound to be lightning. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun part of metaphysics. Everything is strange, but nothing is new. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. Under the circumstances, the two are not so different. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Exactly. There are many ways of going about it, but my mother's invention will get us quick results. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I can't blame you for avoiding a place like that.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met. Right, feels great. Don't know what I expected, but this isn't it.
Haven from the Blight. Who grows here?
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What a horrific fate.
Beauty reborn. A life of peace.
Guards, we can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods, I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I don't think you were in any danger. All that's really down there is an unhappy memory. One that keeps on growing. For the time being, that would be best. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar, and I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Fjord. There should be some equipment waiting for us. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Fjord. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety.
Sounds good. I need to do some hunting anyway.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off.